The first team presenting is Sahil, Ania, Romir, Gargi, and Rabai.
Their
Over
idea
to
is
you guys.
okay, yeah. So their idea is an apocalyptic bunker, and I think that sounds really cool. So yeah, over to you guys.
So you guys can now share your screen and start presenting.
Yeah, hi. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me a
Yes.
second. Yeah. You all can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so our idea for using an abandoned coal mine was to convert it into a bunker. So one of our team members came up with the idea to make it into a bunker, like a nuclear bunker, in case of like nuclear war. Like people could like stay temporarily in a bunker. And then we remembered the Hunger Games Part 3, Mockingjay. District 13 was completely underground in a mine. So our bunker is based on District 13 of the Hunger Games. So we decided to call it District 12 because in the Hunger Games, District 12 was a coal mining district. So over to Ania.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we would definitely make the settlement under the ground. As you can see in the side, the network of the tracks underground would be super helpful to us in terms of transportation and locomotion. Since most coal mines are already layered, it will help us make divisions and help us build more efficiently. On the next slide, please. We have kind of a blueprint for how the ideal settlement would look like. So if you'd like to take a look at that, and then over to Gargi for air and water related questions.
Yeah, so this is obviously a temporary settlement, right? This is only we're going to use this in case of emergencies. So ventilation, we have decided that we would take it somewhere from the outside, not because inside we don't want it to get very suffocating. So maybe through vents, we will provide air. Water, filtered water from underground. What that basically means is that we all know there is groundwater, and groundwater is actually very clean. And with a simple purifier, just made of rocks and pebbles, we can purify water for any use. Next slide. And over to Sahil.
Yeah, so for the agriculture, so of course, if it's not a really long time that we will be staying in this bunker, but we will need to be self-sustained. And if there is a nuclear fallout or any other catastrophe on the surface of the earth, we cannot rely on the food sources from outside. And that's why we'll need to be self-sufficient on our food sources as well. And the technology we plan to use is a technology called hydroponics. Hydroponics is a technology which is used all across the world, where a nutrition solution is there, and in which a plant is planted, and plants can actually grow without soil in it. And of course, with the water we are getting from the groundwater source and LED lights, so the basic sunlight and water source will also be covered for the plants. And like this, we'll be able to grow plants and cover our food source as well. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That ended right on time. Also, to introduce our judges for the activity presentations, we have Dr. Ash from yesterday, we have Ms. Komal, and we have Ms. Priyanka Prakash. So the judges will now be asking every team a question for about 2 minutes. So judges, your time for 2 minutes starts now. You can feel free to ask any question you want about the presentation.
Okay, I don't know about Komal and Dr. Ash, but if they would want to go first, or should I go ahead?
Go ahead,
Okay,
please, Priyanka. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ash. So I think this is a great concept. but of course, I think would require a lot of research in terms of the hazardous impacts that are left behind in abandoned coal mines. That's something you need to really look into. Even things like groundwater, a lot of testing would have to be done to see how it can be used. My one question would be that these bunkers are for emergency purposes, right? So what would be their use case, say, in the other times when there is no emergency? So would they be solving any kind of other purpose, or what? Do you have anything in mind in that sense?
Yes, we did. So the agriculture, like when we actually use the bunker, the food, it won't just grow up in 2 seconds, will it? So we will obviously use it as a farm, and like you said, we'll have to test it out, the groundwater and the hazardous chemicals. So it could be used as for testing.
Thank you.
Excellent. Oh, sorry, Aryan.
Anyway, I was just asking if you have any other questions.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, first off, I want to start by saying great presentation, wonderful, ideas and beautifully synchronized delivery. So thank you for that. Very, very interesting. I also think the idea is fascinating. I just wanted to check. In terms of it's a little bit of a continuation, if I may, of Priyanka's question, actually. But I'm just wondering if you can elaborate a little, please. So it's really fascinating that you sort of anticipate you can use this for food and sort of dealing with the whole issue of the food insecurity that we know is a big issue as we speak. But what would be what would be the safety of the food, assuming that that's what you're going to use it for? How would that work out? Do you think that it would be really feasible, or is it sort of at this point really only a theoretical notion and you're wanting to explore this further? So I'm wondering, practically speaking, is there something that you have tangible in terms of knowledge, in terms of the safety of the food itself? Clearly, it's something that would deal with a very major issue. I mean, if you can really deal with bringing food out of this, it would be amazing. But I'm wondering how practical that would be in terms of safety. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, so should I answer? Anyone else wants to go? Yeah. So right now, yeah, it is just theory because we just came up with this yesterday. But so for now, I think if we start now and we continue to test, maybe several years into the future, we'll come up with a feasible plan for food. And even if not food, I think there are some bunkers, mines in Russia, I think, which are
Yeah.
already being used as bunkers or settlements. So I think settlement wise, it's pretty feasible. But food, I think we'll be starting. If we start now, there'll be testing, and maybe in the future sometime, it might be feasible.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. And I think that, as you probably know, the whole issue of food insecurity is a very big one. It's going to get bigger. So I think, I realize it's a theoretical idea at this point, naturally, but, explore this and see if you can translate it into something that would result in safe, consumable output as far as food is concerned. Well done, you guys. Nice idea. Very, very nicely presented and delivered. So congratulations. Thank you. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, thank you so much, guys. And I absolutely love the Hunger Games reference there.